This
what are the
conference will now be recorded.
okay. So yesterday we discussed the introduction part, like what is CMS, what are different CMSs available in the market, okay, why AEM is in demand, okay. So why customers are preferring AEM, content authors are preferring, developers are preferring, right? And what is author instance, what is publish instance, okay. So what is the role of a developer, what is the role of a content author, so how the content flows from the content authors to the end users, okay. So we have discussed all those things. So today we are going to discuss about different consoles available in AEM, okay. So I'm just starting my instance, give me 2 minutes. I'm not able to share my screen. Mm, Maybe I need to open it in my desktop app or something. Okay, I'm not able to share my screen. I'll just uh, rejoin. Okay. Still, I'm not able to share my screen. Some problem happened.
This conference will now be recorded.
So I hope everyone able to see my screen, right?
Yes, Vishwa.
Okay, fine. So before we come to different consoles, okay, so we'll discuss about templates and components. Okay. So yesterday we discussed about the developer is going to create the templates and the components. Content author is going to use the templates to create the pages, and the content author will use the components to show content on your pages. What is a template actually? So template is a markup. Template is the markup or layout to create your page. Okay. For example, I'll go to some sample website. Okay, so observe this page carefully. Okay, not as a as an end user, but as a developer. So what all things are there on this page? Okay, so you can see there is one header. In the header you can see logo. There is a navigation bar. There are some social links, search. Okay, and there is a left panel here. In the left panel you can see blocks of contents. Okay, there is a right panel. In right panel also you can see blocks of content, and there is body. So in body where you can see some story, I mean some content are there. Then there will be a footer below this. Okay, so we have a header, footer, left panel, right panel, and body in on this page. Okay. So in the header, we are displaying logo, navigation bar, some other things, right? So similarly, footer, we are displaying something. In left side, we are displaying some left panel, we are displaying something. Right panel also, we are displaying blocks of content, some advertisements and all. And in body, we are displaying some main stories. Okay. So this is the layout or markup of the page. Header, footer, left panel, right panel, and body. Okay. So now I'll open one more page. Compare this page with the previous page. In this page also you'll find a header, but the background color of your header is white here. Okay. And the header is a narrow header here. Here. And in the left side, you don't find left panel here. That blocks of contents are not there. Rather, the body is traced from left towards the right. Then we have right panel. Then we'll have footer below that. So if you compare the previous page with this page, you'll find both the pages are having two different types of layouts or two different types of markups. Or you can say both the pages are created using two different templates. Okay. So templates provide placeholders for your pages. Okay. For example, this header. So here developer is going to create the template. When he create the template, he'll provide a placeholder for your header. He'll provide a placeholder for your footer, left panel, right panel, and body. On those placeholders, after creating the page, you can see those placeholder on the pages also. So on those placeholder, the content author will drag and drop the components. Okay. So what is a component? Components are reusable functional blocks. Okay. For example, this logo is a component, this title is a component, this image is a component, this text, image and text is a component. Okay. This navigation bar is a component. Okay. Components are reusable functional blocks. Means, let's take example of this logo. Logo is a component. It is reusable. Means I can use this logo component on this page as well as in 100 other pages, or in the same page at multiple places also. It is reusable and it should have some functionality. What is the functionality of logo? If I click on logo, it will take me to the home page of your website. Okay. So template means layouts and markups. Okay, developer will develop it, content author will use it to create the pages. Once the page is created, you will find placeholders like this. There will be placeholder for header, footer, right panel, body, right? And in those placeholders, the content author will drag the components. He'll drag image component, he'll drag photo album component, he'll drag some other components here. Okay, then he'll author the components to show the content on your pages. Okay, so templates and components. Fine. So now come to different consoles provided by AEM. Okay. So what is a console? So as you know, AEM is a tool, right? So it is a content management tool, Java based content management tool. So we have different types of users in AEM. Let's say you are working in one AEM project. So in that project, you will find developers, uh, two types of developers, core developer, UI developer, content authors, right? Then you will find testers, administrators, different types of users are there. So the job of developer is different, content author is different, administrator is different, right? So AEM provides different consoles for different types of users to perform their tasks. Okay. So just now I opened CRXD console. Okay. So this is one of the console provided by AEM. Okay. So what is CRXD console? CRXD console is a browser-based editor provided by AEM. So browser-based editor we know. We already know editors like Eclipse, NetBeans, right, IntelliJ. So we use Eclipse editor to write Java applications, web applications. Similarly, CRXD is an editor. Okay, and we'll use this editor to create AEM applications. It's a browser-based editor. Browser-based editor means you have to type the URL localhost colon 4502 slash crx slash de slash index.jsp. Okay, so this is the URL of your CRXD editor. Localhost means my local system. 4502 means on 4502 port number my author instance is running, and this is the path of your index, your editor. To access your editor, you have to type this URL. So Eclipse is a window-based editor. Double click on that exe file, it will open. But here you have to type the URL. Okay. So it's a browser-based editor. So you will be able to access this editor once your author instance is up and running. Okay. You have to install the author instance in your system. Then you have to start your author instance. Then only you will be able to access this editor. Fine. So when you open CRXD, in the left side you will find number of folders. Okay, why these folders are there? We need to understand that. What can you do in those folders? Okay, so first we will see this apps folder. So we'll expand the apps folder. Under apps folder you will find number of subfolders. There is a folder called WE Retail under apps. Okay, so yesterday I told AEM provides one sample web application for us, sample website for us. If we are going to develop our website, we can refer that, we can reuse things from that website, right? So in this version of AEM, they provide WE Retail as the sample website, sample web application. So under apps, you can see a folder called WE Retail. They provided one sample website for us. So for that website, what all things are required, they have created everything. So we can refer that. Fine. So I'll expand WE Retail. Then I'll find number of folders under that. Client libs, components, config, GUI, I18N, install, number of folders are there. So first I'll expand this components folder. So you can see there are number of components. These components are created for your WE Retail website. Okay, it was created for WE Retail website. So similarly, if I want to launch my website called training.com, xyz.com, under apps folder, I have to create a folder called training, learning, or anything. Under that folder, I have to create a folder called components. Under the components folder, I need to create all the components for my training.com website. Okay, so these are the components. Components are created by the developers. So how I know that these are the components? Let's say take example of this image. I'll select image. When I select image, you can see this is called as properties panel. Okay, in properties panel you can see some properties got displayed here, right? There are 7 properties. Out of those 7 properties, row number 5, there is a property called primary type, JCR colon primary type, and the value is CQ colon component. So it means this image is a component. Okay, so what about this components folder? If I select this folder, go to the properties panel, row number 3, primary type is NT colon folder. Means this component is a folder and this image is a component inside the folder. Okay, so if you select some other, for example, this hero image, what is the primary type? JCR colon primary type is the property and value is CQ colon component. So hero image is a component. So they created all the components here inside the components folder. So we have to follow this and we have to create all our components in folder structures like this. Okay, we can find a folder called client libs here. Okay. When you create any website, you need JS files and CSS files, JavaScript files and style sheets files, right? You need to apply look and feel to your pages, UI to your pages. You have to make your page colorful, right? So how will make that? Definitely you need CSS and JS, JavaScript. So in AEM, sorry, if you want to use CSS and JavaScript files, you have to use client library framework. Okay. So in traditional web application, we don't use client library framework. We just create the files and include them. But in AEM applications, we are going to create client library framework. So under client libs folder, whatever you see, all are client libraries. Take example of this client lib hyphen site. I just selected it. Go to the properties panel, row number 5, JCR colon primary type, and the value is CQ colon client library folder. So it says that this client lib hyphen site is a client library. Inside this client library, some JavaScript files and CSS files are created. Okay, so you can see there is a folder called LESS. You can see there is a folder called resources. So similarly, you can create folders under your client library. One folder for JavaScript files and another folder for CSS files. The folder names can be anything. For JavaScript file, the folder name can be JS, scripts, JavaScripts, anything. For CSS files, the folder name can be CSS, style sheets, styles, or anything. Okay, fine. So under the respective folders, let's say under JS folder, we need to create all the JavaScripts, okay, required for my project or for this client library. Similarly, under CSS, I need to create all the CSS for my client library. Okay, you can have multiple CSS files, multiple JavaScript files also. Then you can see there are two text files, js.txt and css.txt. Okay, there you have to mention those file names, okay, which you want to include in your client library. So we'll discuss more on this client library going forward. So basically, I just want to say, if you are going to create your website, definitely you need JS and CSS files, and you can create the client libraries, create JS and CSS files in the client library and use them like this. Okay, so under W retail, they created client libs. So we need to follow, refer this. There is a folder called config. Okay, config means configuration. For example, you want to configure one log file for your dev environment, QA environment, prod environment. Okay, so you can create a configuration for that, or a particular configuration for different environments. Okay, so you can use this config folder to create all the configurations. Okay, fine. There is a folder called I18N. Okay, so I18N stands for internationalization. Okay, so if you want to launch your website in multiple languages, then you have to implement I18N. How? For example, you have an English website, um, French website, and Spanish website. When you open your English website, let's say there is a button on the home page. In the button, it is written that learn more. Okay. Now open the same home page for your French website. You'll find the same button, but instead of learn more, you'll find the equivalent French word of learn more on the button. If you want to open Spanish website homepage, you'll find the same button. On the button, you'll find the equivalent Spanish word of learn more, right? So those things can be achieved using internationalization. So in your project, if you want to implement that, you need to create a folder called I18N. Then under that, create all the language specific folders. Okay, we'll discuss more on this going forward. Fine. There is another folder called install. Under install folder, you will find a jar file. Okay, this is not a jar file actually. This is called as bundle. OSGI bundle. Okay, so in your AEM environment, in your AEM project, so sometimes we need to write some Java applications, Java programs, right? So now how will access these Java programs from your components, templates, from other Java classes also? So you have to take help of OSGI framework. So in OSGI framework, we have to create OSGI bundle of the Java classes. Okay, so this is actually a bundle. Okay, so they have created some Java classes for W retail project, and the bundle is installed here. So it is not mandatory, but this is the bundle, okay, which contains all your Java classes. Fine. Now you understood why this W retail folder is created. So similarly, we have to create training folder or learning for any folder based on your requirement project. Then under that, create components folder, config folder, I18N, install, client libs. Okay, so you can just refer this and create all those things. So, and one more thing missed here, you can create a folder called templates. Okay, under templates, you can create all your templates required for your website. Okay, so here for W retail, they have not created the templates folder here because they have used all the dynamic templates. Okay, so there are two types of templates: static templates and dynamic templates. All the static templates will be created in apps folder. Okay, so here in apps folder, we just expanded W retail under apps, so you can create a folder called templates here and create all the static templates for your website also. Okay, so in apps folder, we can create static templates, components, client libraries, configurations, internationalizations, so all those things. Okay, fine. Now I'll close this apps folder. There is a folder called content. Okay, so when I expand content, again I'll find something called W retail. In apps also we saw one W retail. Okay, this is a folder where your static templates, components, um, configs, all those client libraries are there, right? But what about this W retail? So this is actually your website. Okay, so when you expand it, you'll find the pages of your website. So WE retail, so I selected it, go to the properties panel, row number 3, primary type is CQ colon page. Means this W retail is a page in your W retail website. So the first page, or we can call it as a root page of your website. Okay. Under W retail, you can see some other pages are there. Okay. Take example of this US. Okay. Primary type is CQ colon page. So this US is a page. CA. CA is also a page. So W retail is the root page. Under that US, CA, these pages are created. These are country specific pages. If you want to launch your website in multiple countries, in United States, Canada, India, then you need to create country specific pages under your root page. So they created all those things. So under US, you will find EN and ES. Let's say in US, I want to launch my website in English language and in Spanish language. I have to create two language specific pages. Okay, EN and ES. If you want to launch your website in French language in US also, you need to create one more language specific page called FR. Okay, so in India, if you want to create your language specific page, you can create EN, you can create Hindi. Okay, so root page, country specific page, under that language specific page. Now I'll open EN. So on when I open EN, I'll find number of pages under that. Okay, experience, men, women, equipment, about us. So these all are the pages for your English website, which will have content in English language. Okay, so under EN or under ES, you need to create those pages which will have content in that specific language. Okay, so under EN experience, I just expand the experience page. I will find some more pages under that. Arctic shopping, some skit boring, some, a lot of pages are there, right? Under experience. So when you create your website, you have to follow this ideal structure. Okay, and you can just observe there is parent child relationship between all the pages. Means experience page is the parent page of all these pages. All the pages are child pages of experience page. Experience is a sorry, child page of EN, or EN is the parent page of experience page. Okay, so there is parent child relationship between all the pages. So this is the website ideal structure of any website. You need to create the root page. Under root page, country specific pages. If you want to launch your website in multiple countries, under country specific page, language specific page. If you want to launch your website in multiple languages, under language specific page, you need to create all other pages of your website which will have content in that particular language. And there is parent child relationship between all the pages. You cannot create the pages randomly. Okay, parent child relationship. So this is the W retail website they created for us. So how they created this website? There is a different console for that. Okay, so I'm opening one
Biswal,
more.
I have a question. Uh,
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah, so I
go
wanted to
ahead.
ask, like, yeah, in the language specific pages, so do we need to create same pages for other language, or they got created automatically for other languages? For example, if we create some pages in English, so do
Hmm.
we need to create all those pages in different language, or uh, those get created automatically?
So there is something called MSM, multi-site management. Okay, and there is a concept of language copy. Okay, so we'll discuss towards the end of our training. So if you create a language copy, automatically all the pages, okay, will be converted to a different language, whichever you want, and will be created. So basically, whatever content you are showing on your English website, you have to show the same content in your French website. You have to show the same content in your Spanish website. Only the language will change. Okay, let's say you are selling one product, right? So in your English website, you have to show the same image for the product. In Spanish website, in French website, same image will be displayed, right? So content will remain same. but the language will change.
Okay, so while creating, we'll have to just create those pages only one time.
Hmm.
Got it.
So to create your website and its pages, there is a separate console. Okay. So I opened one more console. There are a number of consoles as I told. CRXD we have seen. So now this is site admin console. Localhost colon 4502 slash site admin. So 4502 is the port number. Okay. So this is a site admin console. Here you'll find a green color toolbar, and in the left panel you'll find number of folders. So I told your website is created using this console. Okay. So here you can see this W Retail website. It was created here. Okay. So this is your W Retail website. This is your US page. Under US English and Spanish. Under English, these are the pages they created. Under experience, these are the pages. So we have seen all those things in CRXD, right? The pages are actually created here. Once you create a page, we will find that page in the content folder. We open content folder here, right? Inside content folder, W Reader. So once you create a page here, you will find it in the content folder in your CRXD. Let's say I want to create a page under this about us. Okay. So this is our W Retail website, United States country specific page, language specific page. Under that about us, under that I'm creating a new page. So as I told, to create a page, we need a template. Developer will develop the template. Once template is developed, it will be available for the content authors to create the page. So now I am a content author. I am creating a page. So here you will find a new button. Beside that one drop down. Click on the drop down, new page. Okay. So here you'll find two fields, title and name, and there is a list. In the list you can see the list of templates. Okay, let's say my title is test page. Okay, name is not mandatory, so if you want to provide any specific name you can give it here, otherwise leave it blank. AEM will give a name for you. And
Biswal, I had a question.
hmm,
So you said that WE Retail does not have any static templates. So all these templates, are they dynamic templates?
yes,
Okay.
yes. So because we didn't find the templates folder on in apps folder, right?
Hmm.
So there are dynamic templates. There is a separate location for dynamic templates. It is not the apps folder. Okay.
Sure.
So these all are templates. Templates are created by developer. Once the developer creates, it will be available in this list. Okay. Let's say I'll select some template. Hero page, experience page. Okay. See a template. Click on create. So test page is created under about us. So I told you can find the same page in CRXD in content folder also. I'll refresh this content folder. So go to W Retail, US, EN, about us, test page. We can see CQ colon page with the primary type. So this is the page we created just now. Okay. So using this console, we are able to create a page. Okay. Once the page is created, you can find it in the content folder. Under every page, you will find a node called JCR colon content. Okay. So all the information about this page is getting stored here. So when I click on JCR content, you can see row number 7. There is a property called JCR colon title and the value is test page. So while creating the page, we have entered this value. So it is getting stored here. Row number 3, there is a property called CQ colon template. The path of the template used to create this page is stored here. Okay, so all the information about the page, test page, is stored inside the JCR content node. Okay, so we have discussed CRXD console, site admin console. In CRXD console, we have seen the apps folder. Okay, we have seen the content folder, and in site admin console, we are able to create a page, and you will be able to find out the page in using your CRXD console. Now I have to open the page that I created here. Double click. So this is the page I created. It's opening. So when you open a page, you will find a black color toolbar at the top of your page. Okay, the page is loading. Just need to wait for 1 minute. Let the page loads. So you can see the page loaded, and you can see some content here on this page. Right, you can see header, footer, and some title is getting displayed. So all those things are coming from your template. Okay, so we'll discuss more on this going forward. Okay, what is template, what are different types of templates. Okay, static, dynamic, and how to create components and use them on your pages. So now we are discussing about different consoles of AEM. We have seen CRXD and site admin. Okay, so we'll continue from here in the next class. Okay, so we'll cover other consoles provided by AEM also. Do you have any questions or any doubts till now? Okay, fine. So if you
Thank
don't
you so
have,
much, Mr.
yeah.
Hey,
So if you,
Biswal, I have one quick question.
yes, go ahead, please.
Why are you using the classic UI? Because nowadays everyone is asking for touch UI, right?
I'm not using it. I just show you there is a console. Okay. So I'll show you all the consoles, classic UI, touch UI. You can use it according to your wish. Okay.
Okay,
So I'll tell you how to use sites.html also. I just opened site admin console. There is a equivalent console, okay, called sites.html, which is a touch UI console. Okay, so I'll discuss all those things going forward. Okay, this is just beginning.
okay. Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Uh, I have a question to Srinivas. Hi, Srinivas.
I guess Srinivas has shared his details, contact details. Okay.
Okay. No, I wanted to know whether where I can get the recordings, which because
He'll
yesterday
share,
also.
yes, he'll share all the details to you. Just get in
Okay.
touch. We provided his phone number, email ID, and all. Okay.
Okay.
So you just get in touch.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Okay. So actually, in the next class, we should install the AEM, and we'll do it once all the enrollments are done. Okay. So just get in touch with Universe.
Vishal, wanted to know one thing. So once we get enrolled, so we'll be starting a training from here only, or we'll be starting again from scratch, like
From here only. Here only.
here only.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.